My father-in-law kept turning the thermostat to 85. I changed it once, and the whole family finally told the truth. I have a medical condition that makes me extremely sensitive to heat. If I get too warm for too long, my blood pressure drops, my vision blurs, and I can faint. I've passed out twice in public before. Doctors told me to avoid hot environments and stay hydrated. It's manageable, as long as people don't crank the heat like it's the middle of winter in Alaska. When I married Daniel, holiday gatherings at his parents' house became mandatory. Thanksgiving, Christmas, birthdays, random Sundays, just because. His dad, Frank, controlled the thermostat like it was a throne. No matter the season, the house was always set to 85 degrees. The first Thanksgiving there, I assumed it was a mistake. I was sweating through my sweater before dinner was even served. By dessert, my hands were shaking. Daniel noticed and drove me home early. I fainted in the shower that night. The second visit, same thing. I wore lighter clothes, drank ice water, still got dizzy. Frank sat in his recliner wearing a thick flannel shirt saying, "If you're cold, you can always put more clothes on. If I'm cold, my bones hurt." Daniel gently asked him if we could lower it just a bit. Frank laughed and said, "This is my house." After that, I started dreading every visit. I'd get anxious days before, knowing I'd either have to leave early or risk another episode. When Daniel asked his mom, Linda, if she could talk to Frank, she just said, "You know how he is. Don't make this a thing." We stopped going as often. Frank noticed. "You think you're too good for us now?" He snapped on the phone. Daniel explained. Again, medical condition, heat intolerance, doctor's notes. Frank responded, "People these days are just soft." 6 months later, Daniel's sister Emily announced her engagement. Big family dinner to celebrate. Everyone was expected to come. Emily pulled me aside beforehand. "Please don't skip this. Dad's already mad you've been distant." I agreed, against my better judgment. We arrived early. The heat hit me like a wall. The thermostat read 86. I tried to power through, but halfway through dinner, my vision started tunneling. I excused myself to the bathroom and splashed cold water on my face. It wasn't enough. I noticed the thermostat in the hallway. I turned it down to 72. Then I went back to the table. 10 minutes later, Frank slammed his fork down. "Who touched the thermostat?" Silence. "I know someone did. I can feel it," he said, glaring around the table. No one spoke. "This food's getting cold," he muttered, standing up and storming toward the hallway. When he saw the number, his face went red. "Unbelievable!" He turned back to the table. "Which one of you thinks you can tell me how to live in my own house?" My heart was pounding, but before I could speak, Emily said quietly, "Dad, it's always too hot." Frank froze. "What?" Mom finally sighed. "Frank, I've been opening windows behind your back for years." Daniel's brother Mark added, "I bring extra shirts every time because I sweat through the first one." Emily nodded. "My friends hate coming over. They always make excuses." Frank looked around the table like the floor had dropped out from under him. "So you've all been lying?" "We didn't want to fight," Linda said softly. I finally spoke. "I didn't change it to be disrespectful. I changed it because I was about to pass out." The room went quiet. Frank sat down slowly. His voice cracked. "I thought if I wasn't warm, I didn't matter." No one expected that. "I grew up